Stanford is credited as being one of the first territories in Kentucky, with archives that date back to 1779. As a matter of fact, their motto is a county of firsts, and rightfully so, considering the first brick home in Kentucky, the state's first governor, and the first circular racetrack all happened here. Lots of history can be found in this town, such as records for land owned by Daniel Boone, as well as some records written on sheepskin. But this is not just a place of the past. You'll also find plenty of present-day shops here, and many of them really know how to go local. Today we're visiting neighboring Main Street businesses that are taking homegrown, handmade, and healthy to a whole new level. One such place is the Bluebird Cafe at 202 West Main. This farm-to-table restaurant is run by Chef William B. Hawkins and proudly partners with Marksberry Farm in Lancaster. Chef Hawkins has years of experience with some notable resume standouts, like serving as executive chef to Elvis Presley Enterprises and Victoria National Golf Club, as well as appearances on the Food Network, the Discovery Channel, and the Travel Channel. However, it was a decline in health that propelled him back to his southern roots and towards a natural foods lifestyle. This passion for healthy eating brought him to the Bluebird. I'm here today talking with Bill Hawkins, who is the chef and partner of the Bluebird Cafe.
Yes.
Thanks for having us here.
Well, thank you for coming. We're glad to have you.
Well, I was excited to come because in researching kind of your background, I discovered that healthy eating was incredibly important to you.
It is. And I don't want to go on, but I'll tell you the brief story of it. I was diagnosed with a pretty harsh disorder in 2005, and turned out to be allergic to the medicine for it, so that was pretty awful. And it forced me into a situation where I was looking for alternatives. Around the same time as God would have it, a farmer came to me that was an all-natural farmer and brought me a box of meats just to try. And I tried them and loved them. Well, as I'm using his product, I start feeling better. And I mean, unmedicated. I start putting weight back on. I'm talking about Crohn's disease, so I was getting really beat up. I start putting weight back on, I start feeling better, all my indicators are doing better to better. So I talked to the farmer, Dave Fisher, and he tells me that he's seen this over and over and over again, that people that start taking chemical out of their lives, eating naturally, eating food that was locally sourced, locally produced, get healthier. Well, long story short, that led me to the Bluebird. That led me to a cafe where I could partner with people who felt the same way, and then we could produce our own food. So when we make a hamburger here, literally it comes from the first field on the right. It's processed at Marksberry Farms, 15 miles away, and it comes back. There's one cow in that hamburger. Commodity beef has as much as 15 to 20 different DNAs in one package of beef.
Wow, so 15 to 20 different animals. You think it's beef, but it's not 100%.
And they're all different cows.
Right.
But I'd rather have one cow than a community of cows in my hamburger. So we patty our own burgers, we cut our own chicken, we cut our own vegetables. Our vegetables, whenever we can do it, are sourced from local growers. I mean, I'm not getting strawberries from Kentucky in February, but when we can, we get our vegetables, and we even grow our own in the summer. So we really try, and that's really what led to the Bluebird. And what the Bluebird's about. No growth hormones, no steroids, no antibiotics. We just believe it's healthier. It's better for you, and it's healthier. It's better for the environment, it's better for the people, it's better for the community. Because when I buy locally, I'm putting money back into my community.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing that I love that you're doing, not only are you sourcing local and you're getting this meat that you just can't get any better than Marksberry Farm in terms of their ethical treatment of the animals and the product that they're supplying, but in-house you're scratch making so much stuff so that there's not all the things to preserve it.
Right. And to keep myself honest, so to speak, when we came here, I didn't put in a walk-in freezer. So how many restaurants could say they have no walk-in freezer?
Right.
I didn't want to ever, because it's harder what we do. If you've got to make your cinnamon rolls from scratch and your buttermilk biscuits from scratch and your sausage gravy from scratch every day, or to open for lunch, you've got to cut your lettuces down and you've got to cut your tomatoes down and you've got to patty up burgers by hand. And when we get a chicken, it's a whole chicken. So we've got to cut the chicken down and we've got to roast the different pieces to make the salads and pull the meat to make soups. I knew that would be harder. And I knew that we're human. So what's your natural tendency? If it's hard and it's really hard to get done, you can fall back on these supports. So I didn't put a freezer in. I didn't put a walk-in freezer in, so I couldn't. There's no way I can fall back to those commodity boxes of stuff that you rip open and here's your country fried steak, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited to get into the kitchen with you and see your master chef hands at work. Considering the Bluebird Cafe is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, choosing a favorite dish could prove impossible. In the morning, the Blue Benny is bound to catch your eye. This early bird favorite tops fried green tomatoes with Marksberry ham, red pepper coulis, smoked Gouda cream sauce, and 2 Clark Farm eggs. But by lunch, the barbecue bacon burger will have your name on it. This hearty dish uses Marksberry beef and bacon and is loaded with cheddar cheese, barbecue sauce, fresh greens, garden tomatoes, and grilled onions. Full yet? Well, dinner time could be lighter fare with the Bluebird pear salad. This popular mix of garden goodness features spiced walnuts, sliced pear, tangy blue cheese, and is topped with roasted pear vinaigrette. If you're feeling overwhelmed with all these tasty choices, I'm afraid I can't make it any easier, because next we're headed to the kitchen to make a chef-inspired dish. So Chef Bill, we're making Creator's Angel pasta?
Yes, the Creator's Angel pasta. The idea behind the dish was, you know, it's from the creator, all vegetable, and something to be a little healthier, a little bit lighter. And I know that doesn't always go with pasta, you're thinking, but angel hair pasta. So that's a light pasta, you know. I take it and toss it in fresh basil pesto, and then I do a vegetable saute to top it with, and that's artichokes, roasted red pepper, black olives, sunflower seeds, which is a little unusual, but really good, you'll have to try it, a little bit of spinach and tomato. And then I'll take that vegetable saute, I'll spin my noodles in the pesto, put those into the bowl, put the vegetable saute on top, and then finish it with a little Parmesan cheese.
Sounds like it's packed full of vitamins and goodness.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful.
Now that our tummies are full, we head next door for some local shopping. It's all coming up next on The Local Traveler. Today, we're in Lincoln County checking out a couple of Stanford spots that really know how to go local. Downtown's Main Street is the oldest in Kentucky and oozes with old-fashioned charm. Our first stop was at the Bluebird Cafe, where homegrown, handmade, and healthy are the key ingredients. Another business committed to doing things the traditional and natural way is Kentucky Soaps and Such, and it just so happens they're right across the street. I'm with Carrie Davis. She is the general manager at Kentucky Soaps and Such. Wow, you walk in, you've got quite an operation here and it smells wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, if we could bottle that smell, we could sell it every day.
Yeah, I love the culmination of all the scents together. How did Kentucky Soaps and Such get started?
Back in 2003, our owners, Jess and Angela Carell, they had goats and they were looking for another way to make benefit of them other than drinking their milk because they had so much. So they decided to research and found that goat's milk is a really healthy soap to use, and so that's what they ended up doing. And after we started doing that, we realized that we had a really huge market for that. So during our test period of 2003 through 2006, before we opened the store, we gave tons of bars away and realized a lot of people really like that. So in 2006, we opened our store. We started selling handcrafted products to kind of help bring people in. But as the store's grown, as our business has grown, our soap, our body creams have become our #1 seller, and that's what people come in for.
Sure, yeah, you have a lot of different things. I mean, who knew that goat milk could be so versatile with skin products?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There's so many things that are here, so many different products, and it's soft, right? I mean, it's healthy for your skin.
Goat's milk is really high in fat, and so that makes it very moisturizing. It also has proteins in it that kills bacteria, so it's good for acne or for cuts or scrapes, and it's natural, so it's good to put on your skin.
You know exactly where the milk's coming from too, because it's your all's farm, right? And it's your goats, and you know the farmers, and you know the product coming in.
Yeah. Well, we used our goats for several years, but they have gotten old and they've retired. So now we get our milk from a farmer that's down the road at the foot of Hall's Gap, and he milks several goats and he brings it to us in gallons, and we store it in our freezer, so we've got goat's milk all year round, so we can make all these different products.
Well, and it's great because it reduces the carbon footprint, because it's literally just down the street and it's so fresh when you get it.
Yes, yeah, and using fresh goat's milk is better than using dried milk. A lot of goat's milk soaps, goat's milk creams, you'll find that it's dried milk, but we use the fresh.
Are there some customer favorites?
Well, our honey oatmeal soap and our tea tree soap are by far the two main sellers of the soaps, just because they're so versatile. The honey oatmeal is good for dry skin, for eczema. The tea tree, we've had a lot of people come in. They actually buy that on a regular basis now. They've been able to get off of prescription medicines for acne. So, anytime you can use something natural rather than a prescription is good. So those two are really popular. Our shampoo is really popular. It makes your hair feel really soft, and definitely our creams. Those are another popular thing. Our dead sea salts are another thing that's really good this time of year. It pulls the toxins out of your skin, and it also will moisturize you while you're using it. And I think today you're going to see Jessica make some of that.
Well, I'd love to have you show me around and see some of these different products, and then I'll go down and make some dead sea salts.
Great.
With so many soaps, lotions, creams, and scrubs to choose from, it may seem difficult to choose just one. Combine that with their other gift shop items like Kentucky artisan foods, handcrafted pottery, and handmade jewelry, and you might feel like you just won the local shopping lottery. Another bonus, they give tours. Kentucky Soaps and Such offers both self-guided and group tours of their facility, so you can see all their soap-making magic up close. I'm in the basement where all the product magic happens, and I'm talking with Jessica Toll, and she's the Plainview Farms manager. And really, you're the one to thank for all the products that are being made here today.
Yes. Today we're going to make a dead sea salt soak. And the dead sea salts are just good for, they pull toxins out of your body. They're good for sore muscles. We do tend to say those are a soak more than a scrub because they're a little harsh, so just better to put a few tablespoons in your bath water. And so it's a lot more effective than Epsom salt.
I was going to say, it's similar to that though, in that that's how you use it, but it's better.
But this is basically, it's just all natural. It comes from the sea, where Epsom salt's a little more manufactured with saline. And basically it's just olive oil and an essential oil.
What essential oil have you chosen?
So today we're going to do lavender. Those are more for like your calming bath. It'll still pull the toxins out of your body, but at the same time it's relaxing and help you sleep at night. That's the lavender. We have a eucalyptus salt as well. That is good, going to be for more, kind of good for this time of year. You don't feel good, you're congested, or even like flu-like symptoms that can help, make you feel better. But today we're going to do the lavender.
There's no doubt that both Kentucky Soaps and Such and their neighbor, the Bluebird Cafe, have a passion for doing things the right way. Their use of high-quality ingredients and passion for providing healthier options keeps their customers coming back for more. They also share another similarity. They're both part of the Stanford Stewardship group, which also includes author Angela Carell and the Wilderness Road Guest Houses and Rooms. The Stanford Stewardship group cares about those who may not have a voice of their own. For instance, Kentucky Soaps and Such feels giving back is an important part of what they do, and they make it a priority to support Samaritan's Purse, where the charity supplies goats as a source of milk to some of the world's poorest people. The Bluebird Cafe advocates for sustainable farming practices and strongly supports the ethical treatment of animals. Offering items that are locally sourced, healthier for you, and being charitable makes these downtown spots destination worthy. Make sure and go local in Stanford and add it to your local travelers list.